I gouged out my own eyes and gave them to my little sister just to keep her alive. But after she became an emperor, she teamed up with 9 other Emperor Realm cultivators and sealed me inside the reincarnation seal, slowly refining me to death. Right before I died, the reincarnation seal projected every memory of my entire life. At that moment, every righteous cultivator had gathered around the reincarnation seal. Even though I was already sealed inside, nobody could relax until they watched me completely wiped out. After all, I was the one and only Heaven Earth Supreme Cultivator in the world. That's when a man stepped forward and said, "The reincarnation seal is an ancient divine artifact. Give it 3 days, and it'll refine him completely." That man was Wang Teng, the leader of the Righteous Alliance. It was his sneak attack that got me sealed inside the reincarnation seal in the first place. As Wang Teng finished speaking, my body inside the seal slowly began to break down. But in the next second, my figure vanished completely from within the reincarnation seal. Everyone panicked. What's going on? Can't even an ancient divine artifact hold down the Heaven Earth Emperor? While everyone else was losing it, Wang Teng just smiled calmly. Relax, everyone. When the reincarnation seal refines someone, it replays that person's entire life. Right now, it's just showing the Heaven Earth Emperor's past, that's all. This actually proves he's being refined as we speak. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, I had just arrived in this body. I figured being the Heaven Earth Emperor meant I could just live it up, but after merging all the memory fragments, I was absolutely floored. I'd been sealed away by the Chosen One and his Righteous Alliance, locked inside this reincarnation seal. 3 days and I'd be completely erased. This was literally the worst starting hand possible. I had to go through the merged memory fragments fast and find a way out. Outside the reincarnation seal, Wang Teng said coolly, "Why don't we all take this chance to see exactly what dirty things the Heaven Earth Emperor has done?" A lot of people were on board. But at that moment, Ningbing, the Ice Empress, was about to leave, planning to come back after 3 days. Her name was Bai Ningbing, the Heaven Earth Emperor's own little sister. Wang Teng smiled and said, "Ningbing, you of all people should watch this. The only way for us cultivators to grow is to face the nightmares we've been running from." Then the Empress consort flew over to Bai Ningbing. "Little sister, just watch." "I'll watch with you." Wang Teng has a point. "This nightmare has haunted us long enough. It's time to face it head on." Wang Teng's eyes burned as he stared at the two of them, then swept his gaze across the other empresses. Before all this, he never even had the guts to look any of the 9 empresses in the eye. But now the Heaven Earth Emperor was sealed. Once he's fully refined, I'll take his place as the new Heaven Earth Emperor. And then, I'll take all 9 of these empresses as my imperial consorts. Inside the seal, I was starting to feel hopeless. Even with my insane cultivation level, there was no breaking out of the reincarnation seal from within. So my eyes landed on the 9 empresses in the hall. These were once the people closest to me. The only way out was to get them back on my side and have them break the seal. That was my only shot. Since the reincarnation seal shows the refined person's past, I figured I'd tweak it a little and project the edited version onto the seal. I grew up reading dramatic revenge novels, so I wasn't going to stop until all 10 empresses were sobbing and begging for my forgiveness or my name isn't mine. But I couldn't go too overboard with the edits, just some subtle tweaks. I zeroed in on Bai Ningbing first. She was the Heaven Earth Emperor's sister, the first person to ever know him. And on top of that, childhood memories are always fuzzy. Bai Ningbing wouldn't remember clearly. That made it way easier to flip her to my side. So the reincarnation seal lit up with a scene that played out in front of everyone in the hall. In the image was a peaceful little fishing village tucked in the mountains. A family of 3 sat eating around a rough wooden table. The father was a rugged, broad, middle-aged man, and the mother was a gentle, soft-spoken woman. Her belly was visibly swollen, clearly pregnant again. And the little 5-year-old boy at the table was the Heaven Earth Emperor as a child. Watching the scene in the reincarnation seal, Bai Ningbing murmured, "Wait, are those my parents?" She had had 0 memory of her parents since the day she was born. "Ah, son, your mother's about to give birth. Do you want a little brother or a little sister?" "I want a little sister." Little Who next door always brags about how sweet and well-behaved his little sister is. So yeah, I want a little sister too. I've been reading tons of books in town. Already picked out a name, Ningbing. Nobody in the hall saw that coming. The Ningbing Empress's name was personally chosen by the Heaven Earth Emperor himself. Thinking about the fact that her name came from him, Bai Ningbing suddenly felt disgusted by her own name. After breakfast, I went out fishing with my father. With his practiced skill, he pulled up 5 eels. I carried them into town and sold them for a few copper coins, then headed straight to the bookshop I'd been dying to visit. Over that year, I picked up a ton of knowledge and I learned about the world of cultivation. Rumor had it that powerful cultivators could actually fly on swords. In one ancient book, I learned about the Heavenly Eye and the Supreme Realm. Legend had it that anyone born with the Heavenly Eye would eventually be unbeatable. At that, a flash of pain crossed Bai Ningbing's eyes. Just for the sake of being unbeatable someday, you had the heart to steal my Heavenly Eye? The young Heaven Earth Emperor must have learned about the Heavenly Eye and let greed take over. Which is why he took the Ningbing Empress's Heavenly Eye later on. The sun was setting. I finished reading and happily headed back to the village. But the moment I got there, I froze at what I saw. Bodies were scattered all over the village. Even the lake had turned red. When I got home, it only got worse. My father and mother were both collapsed on the ground. My mother, the baby inside her, never made it out. It died in the womb. That scene sent shockwaves through the entire Righteous Alliance watching from outside. This doesn't add up at all. If Bai Ningbing was never born, then where did the Ningbing Empress come from? Nobody could make sense of it. Binding Bing stood frozen, mind completely blank. In the scene, I was sobbing my heart out. Everything was fine just this morning. I'd even picked out a name for my little sister, and now it all felt like a lifetime ago. Run! My father forced his eyes open, using every last bit of strength he had, to push out those few words. Watch out for Yeluoti. Then he was gone. I didn't run right away. I knelt and kowtowed 3 times to my parents' bodies, then searched the village for survivors. Watching the brutal scene play out, the Sword God Empress burned with rage inside. You went through the same thing, your whole village wiped out. So why did you still massacre my entire Sword God clan? Once I confirmed there were no other survivors, I grabbed the little food we had left, and bolted up into the mountains. The deep forest was full of dangerous beasts. Even grown adults didn't dare go in, but I used everything I'd learned hunting with my father, pushing through the pain of thorn cuts, and survived 3 days and 3 nights up there. By the end, my tears had all dried up. What came out of my eyes was blood. When the food finally ran out, I decided to head to town and lay low, waiting for the day I could get my revenge. But I found that the entire town had been wiped out too, same way my parents were killed. And it wasn't just the town, all the villages nearby had been hit too. I went back and made a grave for my parents. After bowing my respects, I couldn't stay. I had to go, because at that point, something like a curse seemed to have taken hold of the area. All the food had shriveled up and gone rotten. I grabbed my father's hunting tools and his bow, and headed toward the mountains. When I was thirsty, I picked wild berries. When I was hungry, I hunted. At first, I was pretty rough at hunting, but I gradually figured it out. When I reached the other side of the forest, I ran into a massive white tiger. Size-wise, I had 0 chance. After struggling for a while, I collapsed on the ground, completely spent. The white tiger lunged at me with its jaws wide open. As my vision started to blur, one thought burned inside me. I have to survive. Fueled by that raw will to live, my left eye's pupil split in 2 right then and there. A massive surge of pressure exploded from my body. The Heavenly Eye had awakened. The entire Righteous Alliance erupted again. None of them expected the Heaven-Earth Emperor to have already had a Heavenly Eye. The Heavenly Eye alone was already an unbeatable path, and Binding Bing cried out in disbelief. You already had the Heavenly Eye, so why did you still come and take mine? At that, Wang Teng stepped forward again to spin it against the Heaven-Earth Emperor. Everyone, pay attention. He only has the Heavenly Eye in one eye, not both. He must have noticed that the Ningbing Empress had the Heavenly Eye in one eye, and let that corrupt him. He wanted to complete the dual Heavenly Eye and become truly unbeatable. Once the Heavenly Eye activated, I could see the white tiger's movements had slowed down to almost nothing. A single roll was enough to dodge the tiger's attack, though at the time I had no idea. That was the Heavenly Eye ability kicking in. So the next time the white tiger lunged at me, I hit a low slide and went right under it. My chopper drove straight into the tiger's belly and ripped open a long gash across its stomach. The white tiger let out one final roar and went still forever. I went to the lake to wash off the blood. Then through the reflection in the water, I caught a glimpse of my left eye's pupil and realized I had awakened. The very thing the ancient book described, the Heavenly Eye. I broke down crying. Dad, Mom! Your deaths will be avenged. Over the next few days, I made a coat out of the white tiger's hide and dried its meat for food. One night I suddenly heard voices, so I hid and watched. A man and a woman rushed past carrying something in their arms. I could faintly make out what they were saying. Just leave this little burden right here. Let it fend for itself. Come on, let's go, let's go! What a curse. They dropped what they were carrying and hurried off. It was pitch black out. I couldn't make out either of their faces, but the baby girl wrapped in that bundle, I could see her clear as day. The baby started bawling. I rushed over and picked her up. The second I did, she stopped crying. She was just blinking and giggling at me. I couldn't understand it. Why would her own parents just throw her away? But then she started crying again. That's when I remembered what the adults used to say. A full belly means no more tears. But we were out in the middle of nowhere. Where was I gonna find milk? So I steeled myself and bit down hard on my own finger. Blood started pouring out instantly. I held my finger up to her mouth, and she instinctively started sucking on it. The crying finally stopped. But once the blood from my bitten finger ran dry, she started wailing again. I quickly bit into another finger and let her feed again the whole night. That's the only way I could keep her calm. And me? I was visibly drained. Watching this scene play out, Binding Bing felt a storm of emotions. If that baby was her, then she owed Tiandi her life. I held the baby and made my way to a small village at the foot of the mountain. I told the village chief everything that happened. The old chief sent someone to notify the other villagers. Not long after, a man and a woman showed up. They immediately broke down sobbing and screaming. My baby, my baby! I looked at them, confused, and said, hold on. Last night, weren't you two the ones who threw this child away? The moment I said that, they both flipped out like I'd stepped on their tails. She's our own flesh and blood. Exactly. What kind of parent throws away their own daughter? I wasn't 100% sure it was them, but after hesitating for a moment, I handed the baby over. The sun was setting. I was getting ready to leave and explore further out. But before I left, I decided to swing by their place and check on things. And just as I got to the window, I suddenly heard the baby crying again, along with the man's irritated voice. This brat never stops crying. I'm trying to sleep here. That kid's gone now anyway. Why don't we just dump her again? Then the woman's voice cut in. What if some nosy person brings her back again? Why don't we just sell her? We could sell her to another village as a child bride. That's when I kicked the door wide open. How dare you call yourselves parents? I already had my woodcutter's blade and bow in hand. The man didn't even flinch. She came from me. I'll do whatever I want with her. I clenched my fist and said coldly, "Didn't you say you wanted to sell her?" "Fine, I'll buy her." The man and woman looked at me in disbelief. "You? Buy her? You're just a little kid. You got money?" I told them to wait, and sprinted up the mountain. Scared something might go wrong, I dragged the white tiger's carcass all the way back to their doorstep. "This white tiger, is that enough for you?" The woman was thrilled, saying yes, yes, yes. But the man got greedy. Not enough. "Throw in that tiger skin coat you're wearing too." Once he grabbed the coat, he finally handed the baby over. "This worthless girl is yours now. From now on, she's your child bride. Do whatever you want with her." I carefully took her in my arms. She stopped crying immediately, and broke into the cutest little smile. Then I carried her off and disappeared into the night. I've got no home, and neither do you. From this day forward, we only have each other. We're never splitting up. That's when I remembered. I'd always told my dad I wanted a little sister, so I looked at her with the softest expression, and said, "Starting today, you are my little sister. As long as I have food to eat, you will never go hungry. As long as I'm around, nobody's ever gonna mess with you. From now on, your name is Bai Ningbing." At that moment, everyone in the alliance finally understood. That baby girl was none other than Empress Ningbing. Some people even started thinking that Empress Ningbing owed Tiandi a massive debt. Not blood-related, but closer than family. Then Bai Ningbing spoke up quietly. "Tiandi saved my life. I owe him that. Once all of this is over, I'll go into closed-door seclusion and never set foot in this world again." After putting distance between us and that village, I found a safe spot and fell asleep holding little Ningbing. When I woke up the next morning, I headed toward the next village. The most urgent thing right now was figuring out how to feed Ningbing. She could basically only drink milk. She couldn't eat anything else yet. By evening, I reached the next village. There were plenty of cattle and sheep there, but I was worried that animal milk might not be good for Ningbing. I asked around everywhere, but couldn't find a nursing mother. So I kept going, checked 3 more villages. Finally, I found a nursing mother who fit the bill, but she had conditions. She'd only nurse Ningbing if I brought her something in exchange. So from that point on, I went hunting up in the mountains every single day, trading meat so she'd feed Ningbing. That went on for a long time. I used to be chubby and well-fed, but all that running and hunting wore me down to nothing. But whenever I saw little Ningbing's cheeks getting rosier each day, I thought, yeah, it's worth it. Some villagers felt bad watching me. They suggested I just get rid of Ningbing. I shut that down immediately. She's my sister. As long as I have food, she will never go hungry. No matter what, I will never leave her. The woman who nursed little Ningbing wasn't completely cold-hearted either, seeing how thin I was getting. She eased up on her terms a bit, which took a little pressure off me. Then one day, not long after, little Ningbing said her first word. Dada. Dada. That's what little Ningbing called me in her tiny little voice. I was thrilled but immediately corrected her. It's Big Brother. But she just kept calling me Dada. After correcting her again and again, she finally made some progress. This time she said, Gege. Bro. Well, it came out more like Guo Guo. But hey, progress is progress. Under my teaching after that, little Ningbing's vocabulary kept growing. Horsey! Horsey! Whatever little Ningbing wanted, I made it happen. Eventually, by saving up every coin from selling meat, I managed to get us an old abandoned house in the village. We finally had a home, just the 2 of us. But it also meant I was malnourished for a long time. Compared to kids my age, I was seriously underweight. At this point, murmuring broke out among the crowd watching the memory. Gotta say, young Tiandi was incredibly good to Empress Ningbing. In a way, Empress Ningbing was basically Tiandi's child bride. But then, when they caught the look in Bai Ningbing's eyes, nobody dared say another word. And Bai Ningbing was asking herself internally, back then, was I really his child bride? Then why did you change later on? Once Ningbing got a little older, I started taking her along on hunts, but only to the safer areas. You can't just stay in the village forever. She needed to see the world. And she was old enough to start eating some meat too. But since I'd been hunting here so often, I'd nearly wiped out all the game on this mountain. So the 2 of us would sometimes go days with one meal, and nothing the next. The only fruit in the mountains was basically papaya. So growing up, little Ningbing ate a ton of papaya. Right then, the people in the Righteous Alliance thought of a certain benefit of papaya, but none of them dared glance over at Ningbing, the Empress. Bai Ningbing instinctively looked down at herself, and yeah, it actually worked. Just like that, 5 or 6 years flew by. Little Ningbing and I had both grown up. I was 11 now. One day, same as always, I took little Ningbing out to hunt. Suddenly, I picked up a dangerous scent in the air. In the distance, a pack of wolves was attacking a young boy. He looked about my age. I picked off 3 wolves from a distance with my bow. With my spirit eye ability, and thanks to all my experience, I took out the whole pack, but the boy had already been mauled unconscious. I didn't even bother collecting the kills. I carried little Ningbing in one arm, and the boy on my back, and rushed home. I used medicinal herbs to stop the bleeding. That's when I froze, because right on his sternum was a bone covered in glowing runes. Could this actually be the legendary Supreme Bone? The ancient texts say whoever possesses this bone can become the supreme ruler of humanity. In that moment, everyone in the Alliance gasped. At the same time, all eyes shifted to one particular great emperor in the room, Tiandi's sworn brother, Ye Xiaoyao. He had his supreme bone taken from him during a near-fatal injury, and was later led by Emperor Wang Teng to believe That Tiandi was the one who took it. That's why Ye Xiaoyao joined the Righteous Alliance. Ye Xiaoyao admitted it straight up. That's right. The one who saved me back then was Tiandi. Everyone had an oh moment. That explains everything. But there was one thing nobody could wrap their heads around. Tiandi took Ye's supreme bone later on. So why didn't he just do it right here? This was literally the perfect opportunity. Wang Teng acted like he'd figured it all out, and said simple. It had to be because of the young Empress Ningbing by Tiandi's side. Tiandi got greedy in that moment. But young Ningbing, pure-hearted as she was, stopped him. That's why Tiandi held back, and didn't take Brother Xiaoyao's supreme bone. The crowd agreed with Wang Teng. Only Bai Ningbing watched without a word. She couldn't remember much from her childhood, because young Bai Ningbing had gone through a great tribulation. Her memories before that were all hazy. In the memory, young Ningbing innocently said, "Guo Guo, what's a supreme bone?" While treating Ye Xiaoyao's wounds, I gave little Ningbing a quick explanation. It's an incredibly powerful bone. Whoever has it can become the strongest being in this world. Little Ningbing didn't overthink it. She just simply said, "Then dig it out and give it to Guo Guo. You can be the big supreme." The entire alliance was speechless. Everyone gave Wang Teng a very awkward look. That's literally Empress Ningbing stirring the pot. Wang Teng looked embarrassed. Kids say the darndest things. Kids say the darndest things. Empress Ningbing was still little back then. She didn't know what she was saying. Understandable. Bai Ningbing couldn't quite settle her emotions. She hadn't realized she'd been the one fanning the flames back then, pushing Tiandi to go dig out the supreme bone. As for what little Ningbing said, I just shook my head. Sis, we can't do that. No matter how good something is, if it belongs to someone else, it's theirs. With the spirit eye, I'm already on an unbeatable path. No need to borrow another man's bone. The Alliance felt the weight of those words. To think that even as a child, Tiandi already had this kind of conviction. No wonder he became the ruler of the heavens. With the spirit eye, I'm already on an unbeatable path. No need to borrow another man's bone. That line hits different. You can really feel the backbone in Tiandi. That kind of belief and resolve, that's not something just anyone has. To be tempted by the supreme bone, with the perfect opportunity right in front of you, and still hold back. Even the people in this room couldn't say they do the same, and Bai Ningbing took note of that line. Guongo was right. What belongs to someone else is theirs. I'll remember that. But the moment she thought about Tiandi later taking her spirit eye, her expression went cold again. After all that work, I finally got the bleeding under control, and patched up the wounds as best I could. Under my care, the boy finally came to. He looked at me and said, "You're the one who saved me?" Yeah, that's about all we exchanged. Then I roasted one of the wolves, and tossed him a leg. He didn't hold back, and started going to town on it. He needed to get his strength back fast. Once he was full, the boy said, "I'm Ye Xiaoyao. I don't owe anybody. Name your price." I thought about it and asked, "Are you a cultivator?" When the wolves had him surrounded earlier, I could tell he had some level of power. Looked just like what the books described as a cultivator. He nodded. "Can you teach me to cultivate? I want to protect my sister." The boy shook his head. "To become a cultivator, you have to start training from a very young age. You're already too late. I want to try anyway, even if there's just a sliver of a chance. I'm taking it." The boy thought for a moment, and pulled out a manual from inside his coat. "This is a cultivation technique. How far you get with it is up to you." The Alliance took one look. This was the most basic entry-level cultivation manual. Nobody would even bother picking it up off the ground. But young me and I treated it like gold. I accepted it carefully, and thanked him. Then we exchanged names. Once his wounds were good enough, he took off, and the Alliance started buzzing. No way Tiandi made it to the top. Just off this basic manual, right? Wang Teng shouted, "Impossible!" Tiandi must have had some crazy lucky encounter later on. That's what actually made him... Then right in front of everyone, I opened my QIC and half a stick of incense, and entered the Qi cultivation realm. The crowd inhaled sharply. The fastest anyone among them had entered Qi cultivation. Took 3 months? The full cultivation realm breakdown goes: Qi cultivation, foundation building, golden core, nascent soul, soul transformation, Dao integration, tribulation crossing, grand completion, true immortal, immortal lord, quasi-immortal emperor, great emperor. Most ordinary people never even open their QIC, let alone enter Qi cultivation. Yet young Tiandi did it easily with just a trash manual, trying to save face. Wang Teng spoke up again. That's just Tiandi's innate natural talent. But it also means Tiandi stepping onto the cultivation path was all thanks to Ye Xiaoyao. If he hadn't given him that manual, Tiandi might have just lived out a normal, ordinary life. Then Ye Xiaoyao spoke up. Tiandi stepping onto this path did start with me. Whatever he became after, he was once my sworn big brother, and I took part in hunting him down. That guilt never left me. Once this is all done, I'll go into seclusion and stay out of the world's affairs. Right then, someone shouted, "Look! Young Tiandi's aura is still climbing." At that moment, in just a short time, I reached Qi cultivation level 6 before stopping. Not because I couldn't push further, but because I was worried little Ningbing was hungry. I needed to get her food. But once little Ningbing was fed, I jumped right back into training. As time went on, I broke through from Qi cultivation level 6 all the way to foundation building. The Alliance absolutely lost it. Foundation building in one day. In all of the heavens. That was unprecedented, and likely never to happen again. Many were completely floored, but Wang Teng still credited everything to the spirit eye, and kept throwing shade at Tiandi. Meanwhile, Ye Xiaoyao watched all this, and felt deeply conflicted, even filled with pain. He and Tiandi had been genuine sworn brothers, and yet, Tiandi later ruthlessly took his supreme bone. Big bro, was one supreme bone really worth becoming someone like that? Ye Xiaoyao never said those words out loud. No one else ever knew. Even now, Ye Xiaoyao still referred to Tiandi as Big Bro, but Ye Xiaoyao let out a quiet sigh. That big bro of his had changed after all, in the days that followed. On top of training myself, I also started teaching little Ningbing to cultivate. I've already started seeing the benefits of cultivating. Even though I don't want Xiao Ningbing involved in my future revenge, it'd still be good if she could cultivate enough to protect herself. And at that moment, everyone in the Alliance got excited. The Heavenly Emperor hit Qi condensation overnight and foundation building the next day. And since Ningbing Empress also has the twin pupils, her talent can't be far behind. Wang Teng even said confidently, "Just watch, everyone. Ningbing Empress's cultivation speed is gonna skyrocket too." The Heavenly Emperor only got twin pupils out of sheer luck. Ningbing Empress's cultivation pace might actually end up faster than his. Everyone agreed. So I had Xiao Ningbing start cultivating by the manual. I didn't guide her at first. After all, no one guided me when I started either. Plus, I was worried my guidance might not suit her and could throw her off track. Better to let her figure it out on her own. But as Xiao Ningbing trained on her own, forget instantly sensing her Qi C or hitting Qi condensation overnight. 2 whole days passed and she hadn't felt even a hint of her Qi C. "Brother, this is so hard. Brother, can you please just teach me?" Xiao Ningbing came to me pretty discouraged, asking for help. And right now, the most awkward person in the Alliance was Wang Teng. Everyone was shooting him looks full of doubt. Wang Teng cleared his throat. Ningbing Empress is still very young. Her mind isn't fully developed yet. Once someone guides her properly, her cultivation speed will definitely catch up to the Heavenly Emperor's. Others thought that made sense. Once the young Heavenly Emperor steps in, she should be able to figure everything out. Looking at Xiao Ningbing asking for my help, I thought about it, but still didn't give her guidance right away. The way I see it, a method you figure out yourself is always going to beat something someone else tells you to do. But I didn't expect it. 2 more days went by. Xiao Ningbing still couldn't tap into her Qi C at all, so I decided to teach her my own cultivation method. "Sis, try this approach and see if it clicks for you. If it doesn't feel right, don't force it." Xiao Ningbing nodded obediently. Then she practiced using my method for several more days, and still couldn't enter a Qi C state. Now the whole Alliance was completely lost. She already had guidance at this point, and she still couldn't sense the Qi C. That just didn't make any sense. When everyone's eyes turned back to Wang Teng, he had no choice but to clear his throat again and say, "This has to be related to her mental development as a child." Give it a few more days, Ningbing Empress will definitely break into Qi condensation. But what happened next left everyone absolutely floored. A full half-year had already passed inside the reincarnation seal, and Xiao Ningbing still hadn't sensed her Qi C. Not a single bit of progress in over 6 months. At this point, her talent could only be described as completely average. Even some random low-level cultivators might not have worse talent than her. With everyone confused and staring, Wang Teng put forward what he thought was the most likely explanation. "Everyone, there's only one explanation for this. And that would be, Ningbing Empress hasn't awakened her twin pupils yet. Think about it. The Heavenly Emperor didn't awaken his twin pupils until after his entire village was wiped out. And awakening the twin pupils seems to have certain conditions." At that moment, Bai Ningbing was also reflecting. She only remembered suffering a great catastrophe as a child. When she came to, her twin pupils' power was already awakened. As for how the twin pupils' power came about, she always assumed it just awakened on its own once she reached a certain point. Wang Teng ultimately landed on a rough conclusion. "Everyone, hear me out. I think in order to awaken the twin pupils' power, it most likely requires being triggered by intense hatred. Or a life-or-death crisis." That theory immediately got everyone's approval. Wang Teng's breakdown was logical and well-reasoned, truly worthy of being the future Heavenly Emperor's top pick. "You're too kind, everyone. But if my theory holds up, then the Heavenly Emperor didn't actually save Ningbing Empress at all. He actually got in the way of her awakening her twin pupils' power. If the Heavenly Emperor hadn't shown up, those beasts would have found infant Ningbing Empress. Facing a life-or-death situation, Ningbing Empress very likely could have awakened her twin pupils right then and there. So no matter how you look at it, the Heavenly Emperor straight up blocked Ningbing Empress from becoming stronger. Everyone fully agreed with Wang Teng's theory. They all felt the Heavenly Emperor had held Ningbing Empress back. Without him, she would have achieved far more. Maybe she could have even become the Ningbing Heavenly Emperor. But Bai Ningbing watched all this feeling very uncertain. She asked herself, did the Heavenly Emperor really block me from awakening my twin pupils? Bai Ningbing had a gut feeling that the truth wasn't quite like that. In the time that followed, Xiao Ningbing kept failing to sense her Qi C. Eventually she gave up entirely and just quit cultivating altogether. I was helpless, but I didn't push her either. If she can't cultivate, I'll just protect her myself. In that half year, my realm had advanced from foundation building into golden core. Another 2 years passed, and I'd climbed all the way from golden core to peak nascent soul. But no matter how much I trained after that, my cultivation just stayed stuck at peak nascent soul. No matter how deep I dug into the techniques, I couldn't break through into the divine transformation stage. That's when the stunned alliance finally understood. The Heavenly Emperor had only ever been training with a basic, entry-level manual. Reaching nascent soul with that thing was already the ceiling. There was absolutely no path to divine transformation. And on top of that, even reaching peak nascent soul was only possible in theory. In other words, the young Heavenly Emperor had hit the limit of the manual. Not the limit of his own potential. It was the manual holding him back, not him. It was hard to imagine. give him a proper manual, and who knows how far he could have gone as a kid. 3 years later, both me and Xiaoningbing had grown up. I was 14 and Xiaoningbing was now 8. Brother, I'm so bored. Can we go check out the town? I heard there's a lot of fun stuff over there. By now, Xiaoningbing had gotten used to calling me brother. Every day she'd follow me up the mountain to hunt. Then come back to the village, maybe wander around a nearby village at most. That lifestyle was fine at first, but after a while she got restless. Lately she'd been hearing about how fun the big city market was and really wanted to go see it. I figured my current strength was enough to keep her safe. So I agreed. Alright then, let's go to town today. The second Xiaoningbing heard that, she literally jumped up with excitement. Brother, you're the best! Every word out of Xiaoningbing's mouth was pure admiration for her big brother, mixed with the joy of finally getting to go out. Xiaoningbing got all dressed up, even putting on her nicest outfit. She still looked so young and childlike, but somehow I could already see the breathtaking beauty she'd grow into. I took Xiaoningbing and flew toward the town. The moment we got into the city, Xiaoningbing was completely blown away by all the buzz and energy. This place is so cool! There are so many people here. I've never seen this many people in my life. Brother, their outfits look so amazing. Especially those people on horseback. Whoa, brother, what's that? Is that the opera people always talk about? Xiaoningbing was gasping at everything, wide-eyed and amazed. I just smiled and patiently explained everything to her. But for things I didn't know, I'd just straight up admit it. Sis, I don't know that one. Doesn't matter. Brother is still the greatest. Everyone's got stuff they don't know. Xiaoningbing didn't care at all. Meanwhile, watching this scene, Bai Ningbing had her knuckles going white from clenching so hard. She vaguely remembered that the great catastrophe she suffered seemed to have started here. After that, I took Xiaoningbing strolling through the town without a care in the world. Brother, is that candied hawthorn? I want some. I want to buy some. Xiaoningbing already had money on her, and the moment she spotted the vendor selling candied hawthorn, she bolted straight toward him. Slow down, sis! Seeing her take off that fast, I rushed after her. Right at that moment, high up in the sky above the clouds, a white-browed cultivator with cold, sinister eyes was looking down over the entire city. His gaze locked onto Xiaoningbing. Didn't expect to find someone this spiritually gifted in such an ordinary little town. The white-browed cultivator swept his hand, and countless young girls lost control of their bodies, all flying up toward the clouds. Xiaoningbing was among them. She screamed and cried out, "Brother, save me!" On top of that, many parents were screaming too. They tried to grab their daughters, but some invisible force sent them flying hard to the ground. And when those parents hit the ground, their life force just vanished completely. The scene was absolutely brutal. I fought with everything I had to reach Xiaoningbing, but that invisible force just slammed me right back down. The white-browed cultivator was a bit surprised. Didn't expect a small town like this to have a peak nascent soul cultivator, but he didn't take it seriously. Once I harvest the souls of this batch of girls, my cultivation will absolutely reach the next level. By then, not even the tribulation lightning can stop me. Everyone in the Alliance immediately understood. This white-browed cultivator was at the Tao integration stage. The young Heavenly Emperor had absolutely no way to fight him, and openly harvesting young girls' souls to nourish his own. If something like this happened today, every cultivator out there would be hunting him down. At that, someone said, "Doesn't this mean that the Heavenly Emperor's reforms to cultivation law after taking the throne actually did a lot of good for the world? At least there's way less of this kind of horror now." Wang Teng felt the timing was right.
Everyone, Ningbing Empress is facing a life or death crisis right now.
She's definitely going to awaken her twin pupils in this moment of danger. Wang Teng's right. If both siblings have twin pupils' power, they might actually be able to take on the white-browed cultivator. But what unfolded on screen was absolutely heartbreaking. I was going all out chasing after Xiaoningbing, burning through my vitality on pure instinct. But the gap in power was just too massive. I couldn't catch up no matter what. And then I watched as Xiaoningbing had her soul ripped out by the white-browed cultivator. Xiaoningbing's face instantly went rigid. It meant she was gone. At that moment, the alliance completely exploded. What on earth just happened? Xiaoningbing not only never awakened her twin pupils, she died as a child. Then how do you explain the Bai Ningbing standing in the alliance right now? Having your soul extracted means your life is completely over, and a dead person sure can't awaken twin pupils' power. The alliance had been expecting that in this moment of crisis, the young Ningbing Empress would awaken her twin pupils, and fight alongside the young Heavenly Emperor against the white-browed cultivator. But what actually happened left everyone completely stumped. Wang Teng did his best to rationalize it. It's probably that this white-browed cultivator extracted Xiaoningbing's soul and sealed it inside a treasure, didn't fully consume it. And later, the young Heavenly Emperor defeated this cultivator, released Ningbing Empress's soul, and that's how she survived. Even as Wang Teng said it, he didn't believe it himself. Because the Heavenly Emperor killing a white-browed cultivator right now, that was pure fantasy. He had no idea where the story was even going from here, and Bai Ningbing was just standing there frozen, vaguely remembering she'd been through some kind of catastrophe. And when she woke up, it felt like a second chance at life. Right then, the white-browed cultivator in the scene made his move. He devoured every single one of those girls' souls completely. In an instant, the white-browed cultivator's primordial spirit visibly expanded, and his entire aura shot up by several levels. Everyone in the alliance was at least at the quasi-emperor level. They all knew exactly what that meant. It meant that once Xiaoningbing's soul was fully digested, there was zero chance of survival. So, Ningbing Empress died right here, right now. If that's the case, and the Ningbing Empress standing here with us. How is she even here, fighting alongside us against the Heavenly Emperor? This is completely beyond me. Can anyone tell me what's going on? Then Wang Teng had a sudden flash of insight. Everyone, I think I figured it out. The little girl in this scene. Sure, she has the same name as Ningbing Empress, but she's not the real Ningbing Empress. This little girl probably died here, and the Heavenly Emperor later took in a new sister. The one he took in after, that's the Ningbing Empress we know today. Everyone thought it sounded a bit far-fetched, but it was honestly the best explanation they had. After all, the Xiao Ningbing in the scene was clearly gone, but as Bai Ningbing watched it all unfold, she couldn't shake the feeling that nothing was that simple. At that moment, everyone in the Alliance heard my gut-wrenching scream from inside the reincarnation seal. Ah! Sis! My desperate cry caught the white-browed cultivator's attention. He didn't even take me seriously. He just picked up Xiao Ningbing's body, completely lifeless, and tossed her to me. You want her? Here. I caught Xiao Ningbing as gently as I could. There wasn't a drop of color on her face. My heart felt like it was being shredded by 1,000 blades. Sis, are you okay? Answer me! No matter how loud I called her name, Xiao Ningbing could never respond again. Her pale lips, the color drained from her face. I knew. Xiao Ningbing was gone. After devouring so many girls' souls, the white-browed cultivator started looking for a place to endure his tribulation. But just as he was about to leave, I stepped right in front of him and screamed, "Give me back my sister! Give her back!" Seeing how unhinged I was, the white-browed cultivator just let out a smug laugh. Kid, your sister is dead. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll let you walk away. But if you don't know your place, don't blame me for what comes next. Fine then. I'll kill you for my sister. With that, I stepped even closer toward the white-browed cultivator. He couldn't have cared less about me, but one of my attacks actually made him furrow his brow. The white-browed cultivator realized this kid was a nascent soul cultivator, but was hitting at mid-stage divine transformation strength. That made him tense up immediately. Kid, what sect are you from? If there's some connection between us, I can still let you off the hook today, even after you've disrespected me like this. The white-browed cultivator was mostly scared the kid might be from some powerful family. If that was the case, even he couldn't afford to mess with them. Just thinking about it made the white-browed cultivator regret coming to this town. Should have never come here today. But one thing still confused him. If the kid was from a powerful background, why was his little sister so completely ordinary? But I wasn't hearing any of it. I launched a palm strike straight at the white-browed cultivator. It was a fighting style I'd developed through years of hunting. The white-browed cultivator looked stunned. Is that sword intent? But he realized the kid had no sword. He was projecting sword energy with just his bare hand. The white-browed cultivator had gotten a little too cocky and took my palm hit head-on, blowing the front of his robe wide open. Before he could even react, I came at him again, getting right up in his face for close-quarters combat. Up against a Dao integration stage cultivator way above my level, I was fighting purely on raw instinct and sheer desperation. But from the outside, this was basically a suicide run. And yet, under my reckless, all-out assault, the white-brown monk was actually struggling to keep up. Then suddenly he let out a cold snort, and the pressure of his Dao-melding realm sent me flying. But I still didn't back down. I was going toe-to-toe with him in close combat, all while shielding the girl in my arms, not letting her take a single hit. Even though she was already a cold, lifeless body. As the rage inside me burned hotter, my dual pupils began to split apart right then and there. In an instant, an invisible, overwhelming presence exploded outward, and the white-brown monk was completely stunned. He recognized it immediately. Dual pupils. And just like that, a look of pure, wild excitement spread across his face. If he could take that power for himself, who cares about any heavenly tribulation? Not just crossing the tribulation, even Grand Immortal, or the Quasi-Emperor beyond that. Even the Immortal Emperor and Grand Emperor, he could fight for all of it. And especially when he saw that the kid in front of him was only at the nascent soul realm. The white-brown monk felt like heaven itself was on his side. Hahaha, kid, I'll use your dual pupil's power to pave my way to Grand Emperor. With that, the white-brown monk reached out his massive hand, grabbing straight for the boy he had locked down. But the next second, a flash of dark light crossed my eyes, and I shattered his restraint on the spot. The white-brown monk paused, almost in disbelief. Worthy of the dual pupil's power. This time he stopped underestimating me. He knew that as long as he got serious, this kid had zero chance of winning. With a roar from the white-brown monk, a pitch-black soul banner materialized right in his hands. The moment the Alliance members saw it, they were furious, because that banner held the souls of countless people this man had killed. And from the energy coming off it, you could feel that his victims were mostly ordinary Alliance cultivators. It was straight-up evil. Everyone wanted to cut him down right then and there. The white-brown monk unleashed the soul banner, and those dark, resentful wraith energies wrapped around my shoulder. He was trying to rip my arm clean off. But the next moment, a burst of golden light exploded from my dual pupils, and a golden sword came shooting out. The Alliance members were floored. Was this the eye-forged divine weapon ability of the dual pupils? From what I could feel, this golden sword was at least a top-grade spirit weapon. Sure, top-grade meant nothing to the others watching, but for a kid at the Heavenly Emperor's level, a top-grade spirit weapon was absolutely a game-changer. Because the soul banner that the white-brown monk had spent so much effort forging barely scraped the mid-grade range, and dual pupils just casually conjured something top-grade out of thin air. So just how terrifying would this kid's dual pupils become down the road? Then a weird thought hit everyone at once. They'd never actually seen the Heavenly Emperor use his dual pupils like this before. Under the swing of my golden sword, the wraith energy from the white brow monk's soul banner met the blade's golden light, and it recoiled like a mouse running from a cat. Then in a flash, my golden sword transformed into a massive golden greatsword. Under my all-out assault, the white brow monk's soul banner was smashed to pieces on the spot, and the backlash hit the white brow monk hard. He coughed up a huge mouthful of source blood. The man was horrified. He never imagined that someone 2 full realms below him could blow up his most prized treasure. And yet, that's exactly what just happened. The Alliance went dead silent, because they'd all just realized that golden greatsword was a quasi-immortal emperor artifact. The dual pupils power was this insane. It didn't take long before a quasi-immortal emperor among them noticed that golden blood was leaking from the young heavenly emperor's pupils. Curious, he stepped forward on instinct, and then the next moment, he was clutching his eyes and screaming. His whole body was convulsing in pain. Everyone was confused. Wang Teng quickly stepped in to explain. Everyone, do not get close to the samsara seal. Getting near it causes the suffering shown in the vision to be reflected onto you in equal measure. Anyone below the immortal emperor level, stay back. If you've reached immortal emperor, you might be able to endure it. Wang Teng hadn't even finished that last word before he tried to demonstrate himself, stepping closer to the samsara seal. And the next moment, his face went completely white. If he hadn't sealed his own vocal cords with his cultivation in time, he would have screamed just like that quasi-immortal emperor. A dozen or so immortal emperors heard what Wang Teng said and figured that immortal emperor-level power should let them shrug off the pain. So they stepped forward without a second thought. And the next moment, a chorus of screams erupted like a whale. Everyone scrambled back from the samsara seal all at once. Wang Teng's face was pale and a little embarrassed. My apologies, everyone. That was my mistake. The pain projected by the samsara seal ignores cultivation level entirely when it transfers. Even a Grand Emperor would feel it just as intensely. Please do not go near it. After hearing that, not a single person dared to take another step forward. But then, Bai Ningbing walked toward the samsara seal on her own. With every step she took, the pain in her eyes grew heavier. The closer she got to the seal, the more the suffering multiplied. Is this the pain he went through back then? Bai Ningbing stood there before the samsara seal, taking it all in. Completely still. Those who had just felt the pain themselves couldn't help but wonder, this level of agony. How did that kid endure it back then? He was just a teenager, for crying out loud. In that moment, facing the white brow monk, I was in pain, but I didn't even blink. Because I didn't have time to think about it. The fight was still going. But the little girl in my arms, lifeless as she was, hadn't taken even the slightest bit of damage. I used the golden greatsword to blow apart the white brow monk's soul banner, then went straight back on the offensive. I sent him flying with one slash. The man went soaring up into the clouds. Before he could even recover, I was already up there after him. I was like a man possessed, going absolutely ham on him in the cloud layer. It wasn't long before the white brow monk had been sent flying at least 300 times up in the air. The entire Righteous Alliance fell dead silent. No one had expected the white brow monk to get completely dominated by this kid. At this rate, everyone could tell. The one who was going to die was the white brow monk. Then someone turned to Bai Ningbing and asked, "What do you think happens after he defeats the white brow monk?" Wang Teng cut in, clearly a bit annoyed. Remember what he said about the Ice Empress? The little Ningbing in the samsara seal is dead. She is absolutely not the Ice Empress standing here today. So what happens next? How would the Ice Empress possibly know? Then, Bai Ningbing's voice came through calm and flat. When I was very young, I went through a terrible ordeal. A lot of the details I can't remember clearly. All I know is that when I woke up, my master was there. After that, I took him as my teacher, and that's how I got to where I am today. Plenty of cultivators started speculating. Could it be that after the young heavenly emperor slew the white brow monk, some incredible stroke of fate brought the Ice Empress back to life? Wang Teng thought that was absolutely impossible. Little Ningbing had no chance of being revived. As for the Ice Empress, someone this extraordinary must have had a master who was a reclusive legend. Even while enduring the pain from the samsara seal, the moment Bai Ningbing thought of her master, a quiet warmth filled her heart. My master passed away long ago, but his level of power, even now I can't see the ceiling of it. That stunned everyone. And Wang Teng let out a wistful sigh. What a shame. A powerhouse like your master, if he hadn't already passed on, and had joined us to take down the heavenly emperor together, the emperor wouldn't have stood a chance. Bai Ningbing didn't respond. She could tell Wang Teng only cared whether her master was alive, because it would make taking down her heavenly emperor brother easier. The moment that thought crossed her mind, she felt nothing but contempt for Wang Teng. By now, the white brow monk was in full retreat, his body covered in wounds, his fingers trembling uncontrollably. He'd thrown out countless treasures, but every single one had been destroyed by this kid, and all of it came down to one thing, that golden greatsword. The white brow monk wasn't even thinking about the losses anymore, he just wanted to survive. Then suddenly he noticed the kid had put his sword away, and was holding it in front of the little girl. The white brow monk's eyes lit up. He knew the kid was protecting her, even though she was already dead, so the white brow monk unleashed a massive wave of pressure, aiming to crush the girl's body outright. Now I was stuck defending Ningbing while fighting at the same time. I had no choice but to switch from offense to defense. And with the white brow monk targeting Ningbing every single attack, I was getting pushed further and further back. Some alliance members couldn't take it anymore and started cussing him out. White brow monk, you call yourself a sect master? You're going after a dead body now? You're a straight up disgrace to every cultivator out there. Because the white brow monk kept targeting Ningbing, I had to keep pouring more and more of my strength into protecting her. I couldn't go on offense at all. Even holding defense was becoming a struggle. Then the white brow monk spotted his opening and launched his technique. 9 Yin Blood Hand. A massive blood-red palm came crashing down at me, but his real target wasn't me. It was Ningbing. I had no time to block with my sword. On pure instinct, I spun around and took the hit with my own back. From that single blow, I coughed up a mouthful of blood, and my aura began visibly weakening. Right before everyone's eyes. After that, the white brow monk kept hammering me with the same move over and over, and with no way to block it with my sword. I just had to keep eating every hit with my body. At this point, whether I'd even survive was anyone's guess. The entire alliance was in anguish. Please, just let her go! She's already gone, it's not worth it. She has no breath left, just run, save yourself. They knew their words couldn't reach inside the Samsara seal, but they still hoped the young Heavenly Emperor would just let Ningbing go. That way, he'd still have a chance. Why was he pushing himself this far? Maybe he still hoped that if he could keep her body intact, there'd be some faint, distant chance of bringing his little sister back. Say what you want about who the Heavenly Emperor became, but in this moment, his devotion to little Ningbing was undeniable. And there, standing before the Samsara seal, Bai Ningbing's expression cracked, visibly shaken. She suddenly remembered something her brother had once said to the villagers. She's my little sister. As long as I have food to eat, she won't go hungry, ever. Right now, Bai Ningbing desperately wanted the little girl in that vision to be her, and yet she also didn't. Because if it really was her, she had no idea how she could ever face the Heavenly Emperor, the brother she had betrayed, who was about to be refined in just a few days. Brother, kid, you're done for. Even now, you're still protecting some useless little girl? How can someone be this stupid? You're dual pupils, and old man's taking them. The white brow monk burst out laughing. Don't you dare talk about my little sister like that. I'll drag you to hell with me. In that moment, I charged at the white brow monk like a man gone absolutely feral, and my nascent soul began to leave my body. The white brow monk didn't think much of it at first, but then his expression changed completely. The alliance members were in shock. He's lost it. He's actually going to blow his own nascent soul? After an explosion like that, he would never be able to enter the nascent soul realm again. Even the white brow monk froze. He'd never seen a purple mansion nascent soul this terrifying. Most people's nascent souls are about the size of a fist, but this kid's looked like an entire mansion. And then, my purple mansion nascent soul detonated. The blast aged the white brow monk by several decades in an instant. And worst of all, his soul took a direct, devastating hit. He was one bad moment away from being completely obliterated. The entire alliance was consumed by a bittersweet kind of grief. Everything the Heavenly Emperor had done for his sister, it was just too gut-wrenching. At this point, Wang Teng turned to Bai Ningbing. Ice Empress, the young Heavenly Emperor, has just blown up his own purple mansion nascent soul. Please step away from the Samsara seal. There's no reason for you to put yourself through the same pain right now. Bai Ningbing didn't move. She was enduring a level of pain that was almost unimaginable. Even she could barely hold on. But then she noticed that the brother in the Samsara seal hadn't even furrowed his brow once. Since entering the Grand Emperor realm, Bai Ningbing had gone years without feeling real pain. But now, with the pain hammering her senses, fragments of old memories began surfacing in her mind. She remembered, as a kid, she was terrified of pain. It wasn't that becoming a Grand Emperor had made her fearless. It was that she just hadn't felt real pain in so long. Because when she was little, her brother was always there, and he never once let her get hurt, not even a little. The scenes from the vision, the young Heavenly Emperor and little Ningbing in the village, began to overlap with her own memories. Inside the Samsara seal, the white brow monk coughed up another mouthful of blood. He was a complete mess now. His cultivation had already dropped to the god transformation realm, but he still had enough left to finish the kid. The white brow monk kept screaming, "The dual pupil's power! It belongs to me!" After condensing 2 divine weapons, my eyes had long been leaking streams of golden blood. I tried to use the dual pupils again, but it didn't work. I was too far gone. Watching the white brow monk close in on me and Ningbing, I set my jaw and made a decision. In that moment, the vast, boundless QEC inside my body blew wide open, and everything came surging toward my dual pupils at full force. The Alliance members cried out in horror. If he burns his source key like that, he'll be a complete cripple for the rest of his life. He'd never be able to cultivate again. And on top of that, the young Heavenly Emperor's Ki C was hands down the most massive anyone there had ever seen. An average cultivator's Ki IC was the size of a river at best. But his, it was like a vast ocean, absolutely boundless. Watching something like that get destroyed, it was a real tragedy. The white brow monk burned through a massive amount of essence blood, gearing up for one final all-out strike. But before he could even launch it, my overwhelming Ki C swallowed him whole. And at the same time, my right dual pupil fired off a beam of terrifying light. The entire space trembled. A ray of dark light shot straight at the white brow monk. His body was split clean in 2 on the spot. The white brow monk was finished, and the entire alliance was absolutely blown away. This kid, as a teenager, had already mastered the obliteration dark light. Everyone agreed. The young Heavenly Emperor was on a different level. But with the nascent soul detonated, and golden blood still pouring from his eyes, everyone could see. The young Heavenly Emperor was barely hanging on. If he hadn't refused to let go of the dead girl in his arms, it never would have gotten this bad. And standing before the Samsara seal, Bai Ningbing's beautiful eyes were trembling. She couldn't wrap her head around how the young Heavenly Emperor had endured all of this. And as she kept thinking about it, more and more childhood memories began coming into focus inside her mind. As I cut down the white brow Taoist, my body was completely spent. I fell straight down toward the ground. With every last bit of strength I had, I held Ningbing above me, my own back facing down. Then suddenly Wang Teng spoke up again. Well, I think it's pretty clear now. The Heavenly Emperor's dual pupil, specifically the right eye, only has the obliteration dark light. There's no restoration white light. Which means, when he later forcibly took the Ice Empress's dual pupil, it was only to steal her restoration white light. The moment Wang Teng said that, every cultivator in the room turned to look at Bai Ningbing, and something felt off. Because people had seen Bai Ningbing use the twin pupils, but it didn't look like the white light of revival, and Bai Ningbing knew better than anyone. She had never once used the white light of revival. Her twin pupils had always been a force of pure destruction, the black light of obliteration. Then suddenly, a wild theory popped into Bai Ningbing's head. She couldn't calm down. No way, that's literally impossible. I was free-falling from insane height. There's no way I survived this drop. But right at that moment, the spatial rift I had just sliced open with my black light of obliteration suddenly shot out a withered, bony hand. It wrapped around me, and I started drifting gently down to the ground. Wang Teng let out a cold scoff. This person is the greatest sinner in all of Tianxuan. And yet he just saved the young Heavenly Emperor? The next moment, a frail, ancient figure stepped out of the spatial rift I had cut open. It was an old woman, white hair, ancient face. And from the Alliance, Bai Ningbing gasped out loud, "Master!" This was none other than Bai Ningbing's own teacher. The Alliance absolutely lost it. Nobody saw this coming. This old woman who just showed up was Empress Ningbing's master. Wang Teng's face dropped. He was mortified, because he had just been talking trash about her. Empress Ningbing, I meant no disrespect to your master, and thank you, Senior, for saving my life. I bowed to the old woman with great difficulty. She smiled warmly. It's fine. I happened to be in a different spatial dimension when I sensed you cutting open a rift. I'd say this is fate. Then something hit me, and a last flicker of hope surged up inside. Please, Senior, save my little sister. She looked at me when I said that. The old woman replied flatly, she's already dead. Dead people have no use to me. Why would I save her? The entire Alliance went dead silent. Everyone had assumed that this kind-hearted old woman would obviously bring little Ningbing back. But reality slapped them hard, and Bai Ningbing froze where she stood. So, Master was only ever good to me because of my twin pupils? Bai Ningbing was hit with a gut punch realization. Nobody is kind without a reason, but then what about the way Tiandi treated little Ningbing, with nothing to gain? What does that count for? Right then, Bai Ningbing felt her whole belief system start to shake. Seeing that the old woman refused to save little Ningbing, I got anxious. Senior, I'm basically a dead man to you too. So why'd you save me but not my sister? The old woman just smiled again. You're different. You're useful to me because you have the twin pupils. Kid, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not here to take your twin pupils. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm willing to give you everything I have. I looked confused. The old woman continued. I am a member of the Heiwan sect. The Heiwan sect was wiped out long before the ancient era, but its supreme legacy still remains. I've spent years searching for someone worthy to carry it on. I thought no one in this world could fit. And then I ran into you. With your level of talent, you could absolutely bring the Heiwan sect back to its former glory. Inside the Alliance, Wang Teng was seething. He couldn't figure out why none of this ever happened to him. Watching the young Heavenly Emperor look clearly tempted, Wang Teng sneered, from where I'm standing, the young Heavenly Emperor isn't that impressive after all. He's only doing this to get stronger. That's literally the only reason. Wang Teng finished talking, feeling incredibly smug about himself, because in his mind, he and the Heavenly Emperor weren't that different. Then the young Heavenly Emperor in the memory loop spoke up. If I take this legacy, can I save my sister? Wang Teng honestly couldn't process that. The young Heavenly Emperor wasn't doing this for himself. He wanted the power to save his sister. The old woman gave me a straight answer. No, because your sister is already dead. Not even you, not even a great emperor standing right here, could save your sister. Hearing that, my expression went completely blank. In that case, this power means nothing to me. The old woman couldn't keep her composure anymore. Think carefully. Even if you can't save your sister with this legacy, it can still restore your strength. How could something like that be useless? I replied, totally calm. My nascent soul is shattered. My energy sea is bone dry. I'm a cripple. I don't have the time to wait for your legacy. The old woman smiled lightly. You have the twin pupils. That alone puts you above everyone else. With the innate power of twin pupils, your injuries could heal in no time. Then it hit me, a spark of an idea. What if my sister had the twin pupils? Could she receive the Heiwan sect's legacy? And if she received the legacy, could she come back to life? The old woman shook her head. Your sister doesn't have twin pupils. She's just a regular person. The moment I stepped in, I saw both of your talents clear as day. Let your dead sister go. Once you grow strong enough, a sister like that, you could find as many replacements as you want. It's no big deal. The old woman was trying to get the young man to drop it and just accept the Heiwan sect legacy, but after a long silence, I looked her dead in the eyes. What if I'm willing to pay any price? Can she then receive the legacy? Can she come back to life? That hit the Alliance like a thunderbolt. Did the Heavenly Emperor just say what I think he said? He's gonna give his eye to his sister? And then let little Ningbing take the legacy and come back to life? That's the twin pupils we're talking about. Who in their right mind would just give that away? Hold on. If that actually worked back then the twin pupils Empress Ningbing has right now... Nobody dared finish that sentence. Because the implication was way too massive. And Bai Ningbing, watching through the memory loop, was completely overwhelmed. These eyes? They really came from my brother? But I literally stabbed him. Brother, how am I supposed to face you? Wang Tung stepped in to calm everyone down. Don't overthink it. The Heavenly Emperor definitely failed. Little Ningbing was dead. That's just a hard fact nobody can argue with. The old woman was clearly shaken by my idea. After thinking for a while, she finally spoke. Kid, I respect how much you love your sister, but I have to be real with you. Even if you gave her your twin pupils, she is still a dead person. A dead person cannot receive the Heiwan sect legacy. My eyes lit up. You're absolutely right, Senior. A dead person cannot receive the legacy. But Senior, you could bring my sister back to life first. Right? The old woman got flustered. Are you serious right now? When did I ever say I could bring her back? I kept going. If you really couldn't, you wouldn't have said all this. There'd be nothing to discuss. You can save her, Senior. I just need one answer. Do you have the ability to save my sister or not? I had a feeling, and this old woman couldn't lie. After a long pause, she finally answered, Fine, you're right. Even a great emperor couldn't save your sister, but I can. The Alliance gasped. Nobody could wrap their heads around how powerful this old woman actually was. Wang Tung jumped in. Empress Ningbing's master is truly on another level. No wonder even Empress Ningbing couldn't see through her master's true cultivation. For some reason, Wang Tung always got this strange, almost ethereal feeling from this old woman, like something was just off about her. Then suddenly she spoke again. But I won't save her. You are the most suitable heir for the Heiwan sect. I said without flinching. No, Senior, you will save her. Because in a moment, she's going to have my twin pupils. And with that, I made a move like I was about to gouge out my own eye. The old woman nearly jumped out of her skin. Kid, don't do anything crazy! Even if I bring her back and recall her soul, she'll still be in a living dead state. But if my sister receives the legacy, or can she be fully restored? The old woman looked like she wanted to say something, but she clearly couldn't lie. She slowly nodded. Then that's enough for me. With that, I placed one hand over my twin pupil, and the other over little Ningbing's eye socket. The old woman was still trying to talk me out of it, but I had already tuned her out. The next moment, I activated the twin pupil's divine ability, the technique of the pupil. Bai Ningbing, watching through the memory loop, suddenly stumbled back several steps, face white as a sheet. The technique of the pupil actually hurts that much? This is way worse than having your nascent soul explode or your energy sea drained. Someone in the crowd couldn't help but ask, didn't someone once forcibly take that pair of divine eyes from her before? Is this literally her first time feeling this kind of pain? Bai Ningbing shook her head. That time, I was knocked out by the Heavenly Emperor beforehand. I had no idea what was happening. By the time I woke up, and my twin pupils were already gone. Then it hit Bai Ningbing. Maybe there was more to that story than she knew. Otherwise, her brother could have done it while she was awake and made her feel every second of it. A long time passed. I pushed through the pain of almost blacking out, and somehow held on. When it was finally over, my right eye had become an ordinary eye. Senior, please, save my sister. That one act alone had nearly drained every last drop of strength I had. The old woman let out a heavy sigh, and reluctantly set up a formation array. At the same time, a massive surge of soul energy exploded outward. Soon, I saw little Ningbing's soul, drifting back down from the sky. Under the old woman's soul-calling technique, little Ningbing's pale face quickly regained its color, and she started breathing again. Thank you. Senior, please, give my sister the Heiwan sect legacy right now. The old woman stopped the soul-calling. The site of the legacy is not here. In a moment, I will take her through the spatial rift to the legacy grounds. Once she leaves, who knows when the two of you will see each other again. I gave a quiet hum and held little Ningbing in my arms, not wanting to let go. But soon I turned my head away. Senior, please take my sister to the Heiwan sect legacy grounds. The old woman waved her hand, and little Ningbing entered the spatial rift first. Your sister's journey. There's no telling how long it'll take. When she comes back, how will she find you? I answered calmly, don't worry about it. I probably won't be alive by then. The old woman's eyes trembled. She realized that farewell just now had been the young man's final goodbye to his sister, After a moment's thought, the old woman raised her hand and pressed a soul mark into my body. When your sister completes her training and returns, if you're still alive, she'll use this mark to find you. Thank you, Senior. I forced the words out. I knew this mark probably wouldn't matter, but it gave me something to hold on to. A reason to keep going, the old woman said with regret. It's a shame. My duty is to find a successor. All the resources at the legacy grounds belong to the heir. I have no right to use them. Otherwise, I would have given you medicine to treat your injuries. But after a short pause, the old woman still sent several streams of soul energy into me. The soul energy gently nourished my soul. I could feel it. I was in far better shape than the near-dead state I was in before. At least I could keep my life. I looked at her, confused. She smiled. I may not be able to use the Heiwan Sect's resources for you, but I can still help you with my own power. As you can see, I've been dead for a long time. I exist as a soul body now. That's exactly why I was able to call back your sister's soul, but in this state, all I can do is nourish your soul. I can't do much more than that. What? Empress Ningbing's master is a soul body? That revelation detonated across the Alliance, and Bai Ningbing finally had her answer. So Master was a soul body all along. No wonder she always felt like something was off, like Master was barely even there. It all makes sense now. Hearing the old woman's words, I didn't react much, but Wang Teng was visibly rattled. He refused to accept it, that the young Heavenly Emperor's judgment could be so far above his own. It was killing him inside. The Heiwan sect requires every potential heir to answer questions completely and honestly. That's why I'm unable to lie. But compared to your sister, young man, you cleared the bar by a mile. If I weren't the Heiwan sect's soul guardian, I wouldn't have had the ability to call back a soul. And if you hadn't kept her body perfectly intact, her soul would have had nowhere to return to. Perhaps this little girl and the Heiwan sect were truly meant to cross paths. Thank you, Senior. You were my sister's greatest benefactor. I bowed to her again with great effort. But Senior, you still never explained why you helped me. I've lost my twin pupils, my nascent soul is destroyed, my energy sea is gone. I'm completely useless. Why would you still bother helping me? The old woman just smiled. Who says you're useless, kid? I see limitless potential in you. If you can survive, your future will be beyond anything I can imagine. And given how much you love your sister, you'll naturally protect her. That's indirectly protecting the Heiwan sect's heir. How could that ever be useless? Young man, I've got a feeling if you make it, your sister will grow up completely safe and sound. And honestly, it won't be the Heiwan sect legacy keeping her safe. It'll be you. Everyone in the Alliance was in awe of the old woman's vision, because she was dead-on accurate. Empress Ningbing's greatest protection throughout her whole journey was actually her Heavenly Emperor brother, not the legacy she carried. Think about it. Bai Ningbing had the twin pupils and drop-dead gorgeous looks. When she was still weak, how could she not have been a target? But with an invincible Heavenly Emperor as her brother, nobody dared lay a finger on Bai Ningbing. If it weren't for the Heavenly Emperor keeping everyone in check, Bai Ningbing probably would have died a long time ago. She owes her brother so much, she doesn't even know where to start paying him back. I finally understand why you saved me. Thank you, Elder. I'll never forget this. The old woman just smiled calmly. This old body of mine, it can hold on for a few hundred more years. Might as well bet that time on a kid with unlimited potential like you. Everyone in the Alliance respected the old woman's decision, because everything she said and did was right. I will repay your kindness, Elder. If there's ever anything I can do for you, I'll give it everything I've got. The old woman smiled. Well, in that case, I do have one small favor to ask. If you ever come across descendants of my sect, lend them a hand. I gave a firm nod. I understand. If I ever meet the people you left behind, I'll protect them with my life. Hearing that, the old woman's face finally softened. Good, time's up. I need to take your sister now. Kid, don't let me down. Just as she was about to leave, something popped into my head. Elder, have you ever heard of a faction called the Yanluo Palace? The old woman thought hard, then shook her head. Even someone as knowledgeable as her had never heard of the Yanluo Palace. Before she left, she hit me with one last question. Kid, you've sacrificed everything for your sister. If the roles were reversed, would she do the same for you? Those words hit Bai Ningbing like a lightning strike. For her, that was a soul-crushing question. She was already falling apart. Hearing the old woman's words, I just smiled softly. She would. I know she would. But I hope she never has to go through something like this. Those words of mine completely broke Bai Ningbing watching through the reincarnation seal. Tears streamed down her face. No, I never treated you like that. When did I ever treat you that way? Bai Ningbing knew the truth. She never gave her brother her whole heart. She straight up stabbed him in the back. Her brother had shared every secret passage and hidden mechanism in the Heavenly Emperor's palace with her, holding nothing back. And she betrayed him. She even led a group of people to raise blades against him. I actually turned on him. How could I have done that to him? Take care, kid. I hope your sister doesn't disappoint you. As I gave the old woman my final bow, she took little Ningbing and vanished from this space, and I was teleported by the old woman using her last bit of strength, flying through the air with no idea where I was headed. The moment the barrier she'd set up disappeared, several powerful cultivators rushed over to investigate and found absolutely nothing. They had no idea what had just happened here. While the young heavenly emperor was drifting through the sky with no destination, Bai Ningbing stood in front of the reincarnation seal, eyes full of tears. Suddenly, she unleashed her full power, targeting the reincarnation seal itself. She wanted to destroy it and get her brother out. Just then, a barrier of spiritual energy cut her off. I already saw this coming. Sure enough, you were going to try and free your brother. The one who stepped in was the Sword God Empress. Grand Emperor Wang Teng immediately rushed forward to stop Ningbing. The Heavenly Emperor has done terrible things. We cannot let him out. Bai Ningbing's expression didn't even flicker. He's my brother. I'm getting him out. Maybe my brother wronged the world, but he never wronged me. I don't care what it takes. I'm freeing him. Once my brother's out, I'll convince him to give up the throne. We'll disappear together. Live in peace out of the world's business. After that, whoever rules this realm, it's got nothing to do with us. Oh, so your brother wronged the whole world, just not you? Then what about my Sword God clan, which your brother slaughtered? How does that get settled? The Sword God Empress's sword intent grew ice cold. Wang Teng quickly stepped in again. Think carefully. Your sacred pupil. Your brother was the one who took it. He wronged you too. Bai Ningbing answered without hesitation. My sacred pupil was a gift from my brother. He gave it to me, and so of course he can take it back. As she spoke, a terrifying star disk appeared above Bai Ningbing's head. It looked like an entire galaxy was hidden inside. The crowd gasped. She's bringing out the Harmonious Union Disc? That's her life-bound treasure. Back in the day, Bai Ningbing used that thing to take down countless Earth-level powerhouses. Ningbing, your majesty, please. Think this through. He's not worth it. He used to be good to you when you were kids, but he's changed. That's right, your majesty. He's not the same person he was back then. Everyone in the crowd joined in, trying to talk Ningbing down. But all their persuasion only made Bai Ningbing more resolute. This life was given to me by my brother. Even if I die trying to save him today, that's exactly how it should be. Just then, the Sword God Empress also summoned her life-bound treasure. Wang Teng panicked. He never expected Ningbing to turn on them like this. If two emperors clash here, this whole place would be destroyed. Ningbing, little sister, stand down, you can't win this. The one who stepped forward wasn't just anyone. It was the Heavenly Emperor's own Empress consort. The other 7 empresses in the city held back. But they knew the Sword God Empress and the Empress consort together were more than enough. Besides, they weren't about to gang up on one person, so they joined forces to stabilize the space instead. Otherwise, this place would have been torn apart. Suddenly, a thought crossed Wang Teng's mind. Should I just take Ningbing out for good? But the moment that thought formed, Wang Teng suddenly felt like he was being watched by an ancient beast. His heart nearly stopped. Could this be the Heavenly Emperor, trapped inside the reincarnation seal, using some divine ability? Maybe he'd placed a protection technique on Ningbing that activates automatically, the moment her life is in danger. The more Wang Teng thought about it, the more it made sense. He was also relieved he hadn't made a move on Bai Ningbing. That could have gone very, very badly. Still, he wasn't about to just let the 3 of them keep fighting, so he reached for a treasure, the heaven-shaking pagoda. Bai Ningbing was going all out against the Sword God Empress and Liu Qingcheng. She never saw it coming. A Grand Emperor pulling a move like this? Completely blindsided. She was trapped inside the heaven-shaking pagoda. The crowd erupted. Wasn't the heaven-shaking pagoda lost 10,000 years ago? With the pagoda in play, we can hold Ningbing for a while. Wang Teng, what are you doing? The Sword God Empress and Liu Qingcheng both turned on Wang Teng, furious at the sneak attack. Wang Teng immediately put on his best righteous face. My ladies, I had no choice. Don't worry, the pagoda won't hurt Ningbing. Once this is over, I'll personally apologize to her. And just like that, the crowd actually bought it. Wang Teng's just doing what's best for everyone. He just wants to deal with the Heavenly Emperor, the real threat. The Grand Emperor truly has the world's best interest at heart. The Sword God Empress looked at Wang Teng with cold disdain. She had a pretty good idea what he was really thinking, because just a moment ago, she too felt something lock onto her like a terrifying force. Meanwhile, inside the pagoda, Bai Ningbing was hammering the walls with her Harmonious Union Disc, desperately trying to break out. Wang Teng told everyone to relax. The pagoda is a defensive artifact. Even Ningbing can't bust through it that fast. Now if the Sword God Empress wanted to break the pagoda, that's a different story. The Sword God Empress stood tall, sword on her back. The sword is the blade of the heart. It can kill, and it can protect. My spiritual heart sword was never made just to attack. The moment she finished saying that, she froze. For some reason, her head started throbbing. Those words she'd just said, she felt like she'd heard them somewhere before. Suddenly, Wang Teng let out a panicked shout. Ningbing, has she lost her mind? Inside the pagoda, Bai Ningbing was burning her own blood essence to attack the walls. The Harmonious Union Disc was now blazing brighter than ever. Wang Teng was shaken, but he kept his composure. Everyone stay calm. Even going this hard, she can't break out anytime soon. And even if she does, The Heavenly Emperor isn't fully refined yet. His power will be weakened below Grand Emperor level. At that point, he's nothing to worry about. That eased the crowd's nerves. As far as everyone was concerned, things were looking great. Just had to wait for the Heavenly Emperor to be fully refined. Meanwhile, inside the Reincarnation Seal, I watched everything unfold, watching Bai Ningbing fight like crazy to save me. My heart felt heavy. I kept thinking, that childhood story I made up. It didn't feel made up. It felt real. Like it actually happened to me. But I didn't have time to dwell on that. Bai Ningbing alone can't get me out. I needed to flip a few more Grand Emperors to my side. So my eyes landed on the Sword God Empress, because her spiritual heart sword is said to have unmatched offensive power. You're the one. I quickly pulled together what memory fragments I had on her, thought it through carefully, then projected something onto the Reincarnation Seal, and started rewriting it. For some reason, everything I made up felt like it actually happened. Like it was real. Just then, someone in the crowd cried out, "Look! There's another scene in the Reincarnation Seal!" The seal had gone dark for a moment earlier. People figured it was from the clash between the three empresses. Now that the fight had stopped, the seal's visions were starting again, and the past was playing out once more inside the Reincarnation Seal. Inside the seal, back where I'd fought the white-browed cultivator, dozens of powerful cultivators had shown up. But they came up completely empty. Little Ningbing had already been taken away by the Elder, and I'd been teleported somewhere far, far away, after what felt like forever. I finally came crashing down from the sky, but right at the last second a gentle surge of soul energy caught me. I landed safely. That was the Elder's final gift. I forced myself up and looked around. One word came to mind: cold. This place was frozen over, brutally cold. Normally that wouldn't bother me, but right now I was basically useless. Still, I didn't blame the Elder. During my fight with the white-browed Taoist up in the sky, I'd already drifted far from any village. If she hadn't randomly teleported me away and I'd fallen into the hands of those cultivators, it would have been way worse. From here on out, I was on my own. I trudged through the snow, one step at a time. First thing, figure out where I was. It was a tiny, barely populated town. I was barely dressed for the cold, close to my limit, and the few people I passed just ignored me or walked the other way. My body had already hit its breaking point. The blizzard made it even harder to think straight. Eventually, I couldn't hold on anymore, and collapsed face first into the snow. Back in the Alliance, people started talking. The Heavenly Emperor is a total wreck right now. He's basically a regular person at this point. Even if someone spots him, they'll just walk around him. And that's exactly what happened. I lay in that snow for a full day and night. Nobody came. At least the blizzard stopped, and then the young girl in simple clothes and a snow hat came by, blowing warm air into her cupped hands. She just happened to pass through. She noticed me lying there. She hesitated, then crouched down and shook me. "Hey, wake up." "Hey, wake up!" Wang Tung sneered at this. "If this girl saves the Heavenly Emperor, she'll be a sinner for the rest of history." The girl shook me a few more times. I was completely frozen stiff. She also seemed to notice I was a cultivator. She hesitated, then stood up to leave. Her brain was telling her, "Don't get involved." But she wasn't exactly committed to walking away. Every 2 steps she'd glance back. You could tell she had a good heart. Then suddenly, she heard me murmur, "Sis, Mom, Dad." Back in the Alliance, inside the heaven-shaking pagoda, Bai Ningbing heard her brother, on the edge of death, still worried about her. It only made her hit harder. She needed to get out and save him. Now, after hearing that murmur, the girl finally stopped walking. If he's thinking about his family life, he can't be a bad person. She ended up lifting me onto her back. Then she struggled all the way to her place. It took a long time, but she finally got me there. The Alliance crowd was surprised. They'd expected that since the girl had a faint cultivator's aura, she'd at least have a decent place to stay. But her home was plain. Actually, rundown was more like it. Just when everyone thought she was going to thaw me out with fire, she didn't. Instead, she grabbed a handful of snow from outside and started rubbing it on my arms. That confused the whole crowd. Why would she do that? The Heavenly Emperor is frozen solid. Why not use fire? Why snow? Just then, the Sword God Empress spoke up in her cool, clear voice. "If someone's fully frozen, you can't use direct heat or hot water. That'll burst the blood vessels. You need to rub snow to slowly raise the temperature." The crowd, "Oh, so that's why." And then everyone started complimenting the Sword God Empress. She just replied flatly, "I grew up in a freezing cold region. I just know a few things." The moment she said that, a strange feeling crept over her. That girl somehow felt familiar. After the girl had been rubbing snow on me for a while, it was helping a little. Circulation was slowly coming back, but it wasn't enough. At this rate, my heart was going to give out completely. The girl hesitated, her cheeks turning red. She gently loosened the collar of my robe. She was going to rub my chest directly. That would be the most effective. "I've never done this with a guy before. Please don't die on me," she muttered to herself. But the moment she opened my robe, she froze completely. My chest was covered in brutal scars. Some were old wounds, some were still bleeding. The most haunting part was my core. It looked like it had been hollowed out. Just an empty void where it used to be. My breathing was barely a flicker, like a candle in the wind. She'd never seen someone this destroyed still breathing. She reached out instinctively to touch the deepest wound. The second her fingers made contact, I burst into violent coughing. Black blood poured from my mouth, staining the white edge of her robe. She panicked, but she didn't back down. She dragged me onto the bed with everything she had, then sprinted outside to search for herbs. She remembered her grandpa once told her, snow lotus growing in the extreme cold can keep someone alive. Outside the reincarnation seal, everyone was locked in on the vision. Wang Teng let out a cold laugh. This guy just can't die, huh? Some random girl comes along and saves him. The sword god empress suddenly stepped forward, eyes fixed hard on that girl's face. The girl's hat covered most of her and she looked young, but those eyes, that expression, the unconscious way she bit her lip, it was starting to overlap with a blurry figure in her memory. Her breath quickened. Fragments of something long forgotten flashed through her mind. Snow everywhere. The boy's carrying her through it all. She slumped over his shoulder, barely able to speak. Brother, I'm so cold. He pulls her in tighter. Voice steady, hold on to me. We're gonna make it out of here. And right at that moment, the images inside the reincarnation seal start shifting again, like time itself is fast-forwarding. The girl's hiking up the mountain every day to pick herbs, cleaning his wounds, brewing him medicine made from snow lotus. The young heavenly emperor keeps drifting in and out of consciousness. Every time he wakes up, first thing out of his mouth, my sister, where is she? The girl softly reassures him, you're gonna be okay. Once you're better, I'll help you find her. He stares at her, eyes distant and unfocused, then suddenly grabs her hand. Ningbing, is that you? Her face goes red. She yanks her hand back. My name is Axui. He goes quiet for a moment, then quietly says, thank you. Days keep passing. His external wounds are slowly healing, but his dantian's still completely hollow, barely any energy at all. He tries to circulate his technique, but he can't gather even a thread of spiritual energy. Every attempt ends with him coughing up blood. Axui can't watch anymore. She grabs his hand. Stop! Just stop! Your dantian is gone. The young emperor's eyes dim for a second, but he doesn't break. He looks out the window at the endless snowy plains and asks, do you have a sword? Axui blinks. Just a wood-chopping cleaver. That works. Axui digs up a rusty old cleaver. The young emperor takes it, grips it in both hands. Weak as he is, the way he holds that blade is rock solid. He steps into the courtyard and slowly swings at the wind and snow. No spiritual energy, no sword intent. Just the most raw, basic slash. But the second that blade cuts through the air, the sword goddess, watching from outside the seal, nearly drops to her knees. She knows that move. That's the opening stance of the Sword God clan's beginner sword manual. When in Snow's first touch, you can only pull it off after spending 10 plus years meditating in sub-zero conditions. That kind of pure, bone-deep cold doesn't lie. Wind and Snow's first touch. Opening stance. In the vision, the young emperor swings his blade every single day, dawn to dusk, snow piling up on his shoulders. The guy just doesn't quit. Even when he's coughing blood, even when he falls, he gets back up and keeps going. Axue watches from the side, goes from worried to silent to eyes quietly welling up. She sneaks an extra bowl of porridge on the stove, dumps every last bit of meat scrap she has into his soup. Then one night, the boy suddenly spikes a fever, burning up all over, rambling nonstop in his sleep. Ning Bing, run! Mom, Dad, the Yanlo Hall, I need to find out the truth. Axue wipes him down with a cold cloth, trying to bring the fever down. She stays up the whole night. By morning, the young emperor's fever finally breaks, but he sinks into an even deeper unconscious state. Axue grits her teeth and hoists him onto her back. Stumbling step by step, heading deeper into the snowy mountains, she remembered what her grandfather once said. At the very peak of the snow mountain, there's a 1,000-year ice soul that can restore the meridians and heal injuries. But it's guarded by a snow demon. Any ordinary person who gets close dies. He's no ordinary person. He's the lost bloodline of the Sword God clan. He just doesn't know it yet. Outside the seal, the Sword Goddess digs her nails so hard into her palm they break skin. She's finally remembering. She was born into the Nanyu clan, to forge her sword heart. They exiled her to the northern snowfields to train. That's where she crossed paths with the young heavenly emperor and saved his life. Later, when she returned to the Nanyu clan, she walked right into a disaster. The clan was under attack. Enemies were hunting her down. When she fled back into the northern snowfields, a boy picked her up and carried her through a blizzard, hid her in a cave, then drew the pursuers away himself. That brutal encounter is what caused the Sword Goddess to lose her memories. She'd always thought it was a dream, a hallucination as she froze to death. So that boy was you all along? In the vision, Axue claws her way up to the mountain peak. The 1,000-year ice soul hovers in the center of a frozen chamber, glowing with a faint blue light. A three-eyed snow demon lunges out of the shadows, claws aimed straight at Axue's throat. Axue has zero combat training, but pure instinct kicks in and she twists out of the way. She reaches into her chest and pulls out a jade pendant. She carried it since she was little, never knew what it was for. The second the pendant makes contact with the snow demon, it explodes with blinding sword light. The demon lets out a shriek, sliced clean in half. Axue just stands there staring down at the pendant. Two characters have appeared on its surface. Sword Heart. No time to think about it. She grabs the ice soul and books it back down the mountain. She presses the ice soul against the boy's dantian. Blue light seeps in. Slowly, some color returns to his pale face. When he opens his eyes, he sees Axue's lips, purple from the cold, and the frostbitten cracks all over her hands from holding the ice soul. The guilt hits hard. His voice comes out hoarse. Why would you risk yourself like that for me? Axue just smiles. You promised me you'd go find your sister. You can't die on me. He goes quiet for a long moment, then slowly reaches out and wipes the blood from her face. When I recover, I'll teach you how to use a sword. Axue lights up, and just like that, time flies. 3 years go by. He still can't gather spiritual energy, but his blade work has gotten razor sharp. He can literally carve sword intent traces into the snow. Akshu's been training under him, progressing insanely fast. What she doesn't know is that she's learning the very technique she'll one day create herself. The Sword God clan's exclusive art, Frozen Sky Sword Shadow. Then one day, a squad of black-robed cultivators storms into the town. They've got a compass in hand, and they head straight for Aksue's front door. The one in front smirks. The last remnant of the Sword God clan hiding right here, just as expected. Aksue freezes, completely lost on what to do. He steps in front of her, grips the cleaver tight. The black-robed cultivator scoffs. A nobody with zero cultivation dares stand in our way? The young emperor doesn't say a word, just swings. The blade flashes past the lead cultivator's neck, and his head hits the ground. The rest of them go pale, then rush him all at once. His blade moves like the wind. Every step lands precisely in a sunken spot in the snow, using the terrain to absorb and redirect force. With nothing but a regular body, he cuts down 7 foundation stage cultivators. He turns back to Aksue. You need to go. They won't stop coming. Aksue shakes her head. Wherever you go, I go. The young emperor lets out a tired laugh. Aksue looks him dead in the eyes. You saved me before, now it's my turn. She grabs his hand and they run toward the deep mountains. There's an ancient teleportation formation there. Her grandfather told her on his deathbed, if you're ever in serious danger, activate the formation. No telling where it sends you. Live or die, that's up to fate. The two of them step into the formation. Light swallows them whole. Outside the seal, the sword goddess has tears streaming down her face. She remembers now, all of it. That girl named Aksue, that was her when she was young. And the young heavenly emperor, he's the same one who carried her through that blizzard, taught her swordsmanship, and cut down every pursuer for her. She reaches out toward the seal with trembling hands, voice cracking. It was you this whole time! Wang Tung senses something's wrong. He snaps at the sword goddess. Don't let the illusion fool you. Those are fabricated memories inside the seal. The sword goddess whips around, eyes blazing. Fabricated? Then explain the scar on my chest. Explain why I already know Frozen Sky Sword Shadow. Explain why my chest aches every time I see him. She tears open her collar. An old sword scar sits just above her left chest, plain as day. Left by whoever was hunting her back then. Should have been fatal. But someone sealed her heart meridian with sword energy, and kept her alive. She never knew who saved her. Now she does. Wang Tung tries to stop the sword goddess again, but she's already drawn her blade. Sword tip aimed straight at the Zhengtian tower. Let him out. Wang Tung's face goes iron cold. Sword goddess! You're going to betray us too? The sword goddess says it slow and deliberate. One word at a time. If any of this is real, I owe him my life. Empress consort Liu Qingqing steps forward. She moves to block the sword goddess. Sister, calm down, calm down. The sword goddess lets out a hollow laugh. If he really is that person, and I'm out here hunting him down, how is that any different from pure betrayal? Liu Qingqing goes quiet and looks toward the seal. The vision's still playing. The teleportation formation drops the boy and Aksue into an ancient, desolate secret realm. Spiritual energy is completely drained here. Demon beasts everywhere. The young emperor still can't cultivate, but he leans on the faint perception ability left in his dual pupils, and a blade art hardened through years of grueling training. And he carves a bloody path through the realm by sheer force. In one fight, Aksue throws herself in front of the young emperor to protect him. A demon beast's poisoned claw punches clean through her shoulder. The venom hits her fast, she's barely holding on. The young emperor carries her across thousands of miles, tracks down a rare detox herb, only to find it guarded by a gold core stage demon beast. The young emperor, with nothing but a mortal's body, fights the demon beast for 3 straight days, takes its head off with one final strike, but he's left barely alive himself. He feeds the herb to Aksue, then collapses into a pool of his own blood, fading fast. Aksue wakes up. She crawls to him, shaking him, sobbing, "Don't you die on me! You said you'd teach me every last sword technique." The young emperor barely manages to open his eyes, raises a hand to wipe her tears. "I'm sorry, I broke my promise." Aksue desperately tries to push her spiritual energy into him, but her cultivation's too low. The energy vanishes into him like a drop in the ocean. She breaks down and throws her arms around him. "I don't want you to die. I don't want you to go." Then the young emperor suddenly coughs up a mouthful of black blood, but there are flecks of gold light mixed in. That's soul energy, left behind in his spirit by old Yu way back when. Right now, triggered by his near-death state. It fuses with the medicinal energy of the herb, and somehow a tiny vortex of energy reforms in his dantian. The young emperor lives. Still can't cultivate with them, but that tiny vortex lets him barely tap into a thread of soul force. He rides that thin sliver of soul energy to carve countless formations all across the secret realm, calling down heavenly lightning and earth and fire to temper his body. 3 years, then 3 more. His physical body keeps getting more and more monstrous. 0 cultivation, but can go toe-to-toe with a mountain-crossing 8 snow cultivator. Sword intent taking its first real form. The two of them fight side by side through the secret realm, slaying demons, uncovering ancient ruins, growing closer by the day. Then one day they stumble onto an ancient structure. Inside, a rusty, worn-down ancient sword. Engraved beside it, raise the sword without force. The greatest path is the simplest. Aksue reaches out and touches it. The blade lights up instantly. Countless streams of sword energy pour into her body, awakening her potential. The young emperor stands guard over her for 7 days and 7 nights. On the 7th day, Aksue wakes up, eyes sharp with sword intent. Her cultivation skyrockets. She looks at him. Her expression is complicated. The sword chose me. It says I'm the last bloodline of the Sword God clan. The young emperor nods, calm as ever. Then you need to go back. Aksue grabs his hand. Come with me. He shakes his head. I've still got unfinished business and revenge to carry out. Find my sister, destroy the Yanlo Hall. Axue clenches her jaw. I can help you. You don't need to. Your path is with the Sword God clan. Don't waste it on me. Axue wraps her arms around him from behind. Voice breaking, but I can't let you go. He goes still for a moment, then gently takes her hands in his. He left. Axue stayed behind in the sword sect alone, clutching that ancient sword, tears falling. Outside the seal, the sword goddess is full-on sobbing now. She finally gets it. Why every inch of the Heavenly Emperor's palace feels so familiar to her. Why she instinctively knows which traps to avoid. Why every night when she drifts off, she sees the same silhouette walking away through a storm, getting smaller and smaller. She raises her hand. The Lingxian sword lets out a piercing cry. Sword energy erupts skyward, slamming into the Zhengtian tower. Break it! Wang Teng roars, ordering his people to stop her. But not one of the other 7 empresses moves. They're all watching the vision inside the seal, each with a different look on their face, all of them wavering. Empress Consort Liu Qingcheng quietly sighs and takes a step back. I'm sitting this one out. The other empresses fall back too. They're thinking about their own histories with the Heavenly Emperor. All those moments of gentleness they'd written off as fake. Now, through the seal, they're watching those same moments reveal their true shape. The sword goddess brings her blade down hard. The Zhengtian tower shudders violently. Cracks split across the surface. Binding Bing bursts out from inside the tower, the Heiwan disc blazing, and stands shoulder to shoulder with the sword goddess. So you're all turning on me? Wang Teng's face twists with rage. Binding Bing stares him down, cold as ice. You're the one who turned on everyone. You're the real villain here, the last remnant of the Yanlo Hall. Wang Teng's pupils shrink. That's insane. You're making things up. The sword goddess points her blade at Wang Teng. You're the one who sent the assassins after me back then, aren't you? You were scared the Sword God clan would ally with the Heavenly Emperor, and that would get in the way of you controlling the Righteous Alliance. The words land. Binding Bing moves in. Together with the sword goddess, they strike at the reincarnation seal. The seal barely trembles. Wang Teng sees it and bursts out laughing. And then what? 2 of the 9 emperors are already dead. The other 7 are gravely injured. And the Heavenly Emperor stuck inside that seal is dying too. What exactly are you going to fight me with? Behind him, dozens of Righteous Alliance cultivators line up and surge forward. Bloodlust in the air, and right then, the reincarnation seal suddenly jolts violently. The vision inside shatters all at once. A figure slowly steps out from within the seal. White robe stained with blood, dark hair loose and wild. But his eyes, bright as stars. Left eye, dual pupils, right eye, normal. Yet both carry the weight of 10,000 years. He looks at Binding Bing. A soft smile. Sis, I'm back. Then to the sword goddess. Axue, sorry to keep you waiting. Then his gaze shifts to Wang Teng. Eyes go ice cold. Yanluo Hall's current master. Your act is over. Wang Teng staggers back. How are you even out? The Heavenly Emperor raises his hand. A ghostly projection of the reincarnation seal floats above his palm. The seal refines memories, but I've long since turned those memories into my true self. The me inside the seal, that was the past. The me standing here, this is now. He takes one step forward. His aura climbs, and keeps climbing. From mortal to foundation stage, gold core, nascent soul, deity transformation, integration, tribulation, transcendence, Mahayana, true immortal, immortal lord, quasi-immortal emperor, immortal emperor. And it stops at the absolute peak. His presence crushes down on everything. All beings bow under it. Wang Teng's face goes white as a sheet. He spins around to run. The Heavenly Emperor points. The air around Wang Teng tears apart. Wang Teng screams. Body obliterated. Soul seized. The Heavenly Emperor crushes his soul and pulls out a thread of black cursed energy from inside. Yanlo Hall Master Ying Jing, you wiped out my entire village, massacred my whole town, hunted down Ningbing, and played the 9 emperors against each other. All of it, every last bit, was the Yanlo Hall's doing. His voice drops to ice. Today, in the name of the Heavenly Emperor, I sentence you, soul shattered, scattered to nothing. No chance of rebirth, ever. The black cursed energy wails and disappears. The sky clears. The Heavenly Emperor turns to face the 9 empresses. His gaze moves across every face. Binding Bing, tears streaming. The sword goddess, eyes glistening. Liu Qingcheng, head down, silent. The other empresses, wearing their guilt openly. The Heavenly Emperor lets out a quiet breath. Everything that happened had its reasons. I don't blame any of you. Binding Bing throws herself into his arms.
Brother, I'm so sorry.
He gently strokes her hair. You'll always be my little sister. The sword goddess steps forward and takes his hand. This time, I'm not letting you face it alone. The Heavenly Emperor nods and looks out at everyone. His voice rings out across the sky. From this day forward, I reclaim the throne of the Heavenly Emperor. I will restore order to the 3 realms and purge the Yanluo Hall's remnants. I will return peace to this world. If anyone opposes that, come and fight me. Silence. No one dares respond. Everyone drops to their knees. The Heavenly Emperor takes Binding Bing's hand and the sword goddess's hand and walks toward the palace. The great gates swing open. Music fills the air. He glances back at the reincarnation seal. The vision inside is frozen on the moment the boy and Axue said goodbye. He speaks softly. The suffering of the past has become the steps that brought us here. The road ahead